Oh, we have walked around the whole freaking thing. I still can't find a way to get up there. But how the heck did the Germans get up there? Welcome to the History Hunter and welcome to our small adventures with the WW2 time frame. What on earth are you looking at, you might wonder? Well, this is something special. We found an insanely interesting German World War II stronghold hill. It's practically an amazing time machine of a hill that the Germans decided to fortify. And this place is all about taking care of business on a road that passes, be able to control that road in both directions, to be able to control the area of water out here. And that hill it's crazy. It's just been hollowed out and the Germans put bunkers there, machine gun positions, and so much trench systems that you won't believe it. So there's kind of only one way up there. It's insanely steep and we found it and we want to share it with you. So why don't you join us? Let's go out and see the German World War II stronghold hill. It's History Hunter and Eagle Eyes. What you're looking at here is just a tiny little buried anti-aircraft gun position, which actually had the purpose, and that was to protect the waterways here. The Germans said this is going to be ours. They dug in, but they didn't dig in here. So where are they? Well, you're going to see something absolutely crazy. Follow me and we'll show you. So if the Germans were not down at the waterline, where were they then? They were all the way up there. And that's our target for today, if we can find a way to get up there.
How did they get up there?
How the heck did they get up there?
That's so crazy.
Oh, we have walked around the whole freaking thing. I still can't find a way to get up there. But how the heck did the Germans get up there? Eagle Eye said, tired. We have started the climb up this mountainside. Don't ask me why, but we have. It's starting to be ridiculous. But you know, why did the Germans go up here? That's the big question. And that's what we're going to figure out. And that's why it's going to take us a lot of energy to get to the top here.
Yes.
So up here we can suddenly see a little bit more of the waterline. That means something is happening. We are going up and our altitude changes. And that is one of the key words for what we're doing here. Massive tree has fallen over here. Must have been a heck of a storm here once upon a time. See that? Just been ripped off.
I have a question. How did the Germans get
So
up?
Eagle Eyes is gonna repair his shoes, so tie his shoes again, make them a bit tighter. And it looks like we're not, I think we're gonna come to the top there pretty soon now actually.
I think I saw something.
But this is crazy. Look around us, see? There are peaks everywhere and we are going to figure out how the Germans get up here.
Yeah,
For sure.
I see a road on the other side.
If there's a road on the other side,
I'm gonna cry.
we're both gonna cry, I know. Can you see the traces of some kind of activity? They're right there. Loose rocks with very rugged edges. They've been blasted. They've most definitely been blasted. And suddenly, why are there rocks? Let me get you up there. Can you see that rock formation? On this insane position? Well, something is fishy. Let's go and find out more. When it comes to areas like this, it's all about the details and to be able to recognize the details. And when you're here, if you're not aware of what you're looking for, you could imagine there was some kind of agricultural things or anything like that. But then suddenly you start to move a bit further up here. And then you see this. A circular, round fighting position. Yep, you heard me right. That's not a agricultural thing, because I promise you, you can't get up here with any kind of machinery except from what the Germans could do here. So that is actually one of the first fighting positions. And Eagle Eye is going to demonstrate. You can go on that bankment there, and suddenly, let me show you, there are trenches. An incredible trench system on the top here. Holy pancake! There are so many trenches, that's unbelievable. Let me see. Eagle Eyes is going to show you now exactly what this position is all about. So he's now actually in that fighting position and is loading up his K98 rifle and he's ready. He's got hand grenades, he's got his bayonet, he's got maybe a Panzerfaust actually standing next to him, and he's got other friends here helping him out with protecting this hillside. And now we get to know a little bit more about why we are here. These trenches, they were built with one particular purpose: to create an impressive stronghold on the top of this hill. And there are some features here that are just going to blow you away, because it's not just trenches. They actually dug into the mountain here. And you can see these trenches are still visible even today by Google Earth, if you're very clever and you know what to look for. And that is so amazing. We are using some older RAF spy photos and some information from locals telling us what took place on this hill. And when we get to the very, very top, you're going to see something absolutely spectacular. We're going to show you the view of the place. But guess what? Right there, something really cool took place. And now I am with Franz, Helmut and Reinhard, and I'm walking in this trench. Once upon a time, this trench was built for the Germans, maybe even by the Germans. The alpine mountaineer hunters could actually do this as well as the forced laborers and slaves and all of that. But believe it or not, many, many times, and this is something we cannot argue, a lot of times when the Germans came to positions that they wanted to expand and create and make bigger, they actually hired local workforces. And yes, believe it or not, they were actually paid 2 to 3 times higher salaries than the local factories around. So bear that in mind. So whenever you see something like this, it is not 110% sure that was done by prisoners of war or slaves or forced laborers. They were very often also built by local people being hired and paid real money. But now you can see we have really started to get higher. And I'm going to go up here. And you can see that this is such an incredible steep mountain. But still, why? Why are they here? Well, we are going to get to that. But let us check out this feature in the mountain. And Eagle Eye is going to lead us the way. And you can see he's now transporting himself through that trench just as the German soldiers would do. And you can see that is what it's made for. They took so well care of their troops that they even built what is most likely ammunition storage and a shelter. There's even a little opening here, a little spot here. So this, I think, is just one little room. You can see ventilation tube. And you have this little area here. And then, boom. This is pretty spectacular. And remember where we are. We're at the top of an insanely steep structure. And I can actually see pipes, pieces in the ground there. That is most likely for, they could have had a bunker oven here. So that was placed there and fed with either coal or wood. There are some planks still on the floor. And this is truly spectacular. You have to remember where we are. We're not in a field. We're not in a trench. On top of a very, very, very steep hill which is just basically it's just rocks and trees and moss and very, very little else. Absolutely incredible. This is what it's all about, to go out and research and travel and find these locations. And now you can see Eli has took up another fighting position here in the trench. And he's actually on the trench that is still here. But I want to show you something here. Can you see this? This is webbing that the Germans put here to make sure that the vegetation could very rapidly attach to the top of the trench, because this is like a huge white flag. It's a huge flag saying, we are here, come and get us. So they needed to quickly have the possibility to get the moss and dirt and all of that to attach to the top of the trenches. Otherwise, they would be very visible. Remember, they didn't have, you know, aerial photos like Google Earth or anything like that, LiDAR, stuff like that. They only had very rough aerial photos. And this will stick out tremendously. That would be like a huge white line in the terrain, especially when the rock was very fresh, being cut out and taken up here and put together like this. So they quickly learned that to prevent the Allied aircraft from spotting it, you needed to get vegetation on top, and that's why you find these pieces of the web, the net, on top, and then they just smashed on earth and soil and the moss and even branches to make it look like it's just natural pieces of the nature itself. Little pocket here, this was most likely munition storage, and basically they also covered them with camouflage canvas. And yes, you can see here steel cable coming out from the mountainside. That held the camouflage canvas on place, and you can see the drill holes actually still there. Holy moly, what a place. Let's continue up the mountainside and the trenches here, and we'll check out what other features we can find. You know, we are so appreciative for all of you taking interest. I have to say it's a pleasure and an honor to be able to share places like this. Everybody can go to the Normandy beaches and the bunkers and all of that gun positions over there. This is something completely different, and I have to tell you, this is not easy. This is very tough work, and to find these locations, see how they are overgrown like that? It is so hard sometimes to even know that they are there. But I can tell you, this place is just freaking amazing. So you can see this one continues down here into another set of trenches. But now we are going to see if we can find a tunnel system which is supposed to be here. And you can see the trench system continues down here. This is where we would come up the hillsides. And you can see the trees has blown completely over here. And why is that? That is because that is where the very heavy duty northern winds would come in during the winter time, and it would be pretty dangerous actually to kind of stay up here when the winter storms are going like 40-45 meters a second. So I would guess they would be very comfortable down in their trench system. But now we kind of figure out what this place is all about. You remember down at the beach line, it's actually concrete pieces here. So there's been a bunker, the roof has caved in, and this is a observation post. So the roof has caved in, you can see the pieces of concrete laying there. And now you can see, I'm going to take you right down to here, and boom, if I go like that, see that? That is what it was all about, to have full control of the waterways from up here. Not down at the waterline, but up here. And then imagine the powerful fighting position this would be for any kind of vessels or enemy coming in this area. Remember, high vantage point is the best thing you can have. Full advantage of being able to cut down the enemies down. You throw hand grenades down. Nobody can throw hand grenades from there up to here. And it's basically warfare at its best. It is basically warfare at its best. And the Germans really were masters of taking advantage of terrain and taking advantage of locations. Did you know that you can become a WW2 History Hunter team member and the artifacts here could be passed on to you in this manner and fashion here by creating beautiful WW2 dioramas and displays? You can be the future keeper of something very, very special by the history and the history hunting that we share together. Check out the link in the video description. You can click that and you can become a Patreon team member if you want to. Different kind of perks with for your eyes only videos, travel vlogs, restoration projects, all of that good stuff. And if you want to know more, check out the supporter videos in the beginning of each month. But now let's continue our little adventure. I was looking for that German combat barbed wire. See that? This is unique for the German positions, and it's laying here, and I've seen bundles of them. So guess what? You saw that little promo for the Patreon thing. I'm gonna make sure that some of you will end up with a very, very special little artifact, because this is something that I'm not kind of afraid of touching or taking with me, because there are thousands of meters around here. So that's gonna end up in a couple of our shadow boxes. Is what it's all about. I want history to be everywhere by sharing these small pieces here. I'm actually taking part in that motto in a great way, I think. I'm getting close to the highest point there is on the top here, and I can't help feeling amazed. Maybe not amazed is the right word, but what an achievement to go up to this mountaintop and to fortify it. And it's actually so steep that it's difficult to actually walk up to the top here. But you can see it's almost like the First World War over again. Hundreds of meters of trenches, but they're not dug. This is rock solid mountain, and they had to really chisel that out. It's blasted and then create the trenches with stacking up rocks and things. So it is such an incredible achievement to do that on the top here. Just imagine up here in a heavy duty winter storm and you're kind of working doing that. That must have been, these guys were impressive no matter what, if they were German engineers or hired people or forced laborers. Yeah, so impressive. Eli found something, so we're gonna check that out. What you're gonna see here now, it just brought like a wow on my face. First, let me show you. There are so many trenches. It goes like here, it goes like over there. It's fully kind of engulfed with fallen over trees because this is where the north is. It's just crashing down the trees. There's a trench here. And Eagle Eyes, he's just smiling and he's pointing and he says, "Behind your back, Daddy." And then, you are going to enjoy this. Are you ready? Boom. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know they had this huge thing here. Wow, I can see what type of construction this is. This is basically what we call a mountain bunker. Very often you find these on such locations, and let me show you basically how they were built. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just blown away, because this is so much more than we ever thought would be here. You see these planks or huge timbers here, and you can see there's a special building technique here going on. What they did, they built the walls first, 3 walls, and then they put a ton of these huge logs on top, and then they put rocks, and then they put concrete on top. So I'm guessing this was a heavy duty, maybe a base plate for something, but at the same time, I think they could have had communication equipment. Maybe they actually stayed in here as some sort of, got out of my ears, mosquito, some sort of refuge, or maybe even a barrack. Wow. And the material you see down there was actually put on top of the planks before they poured the concrete to prevent the concrete from coming through the planks. And I can see something here. Let me show you. This is absolutely spectacular, this place here. Holy cow. See there? Rebars. Huge rebars coming out from that construction. Let me go a bit further back here. Oh my goodness. What a surprise. And that's what I wanted to convey to you. I know we have shown you hundreds and hundreds of videos from so many locations. This is the type of location you will see nobody show you. And I promise you, you've never seen this before. You can search as much as you like on the internet. You will never see this. And that's what it's all about. We don't want to go to the tourist places. We want to go to these places. But it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy. Like yesterday, we broke a camera. We dropped it into the ocean. We're doing some commander raid kind of things that we're going to show you. And I actually lost my $1,200 camera straight into the freaking salt water. So that's going to bug me a lot to get a new one. I'm now recording from another camera that I borrowed. And the other day I lost 2 flashlights, very expensive ones, into a mountain ravine. I couldn't get them, blah, blah, blah. So it takes a lot. So I hope you support us by giving at least a thumbs up, a comment, subscribe. And if you want to check out that little Patreon thing, please feel free to do so. All right, I'm going to take a couple of photos and we're going to explore a little bit more on the top here. There are tons of trenches here as well, but it's not available because all of the trees has fallen over them. But I'm going to find, according to the report, there's supposed to be another little bunker here and also a mountain cave. So, oh my goodness, it continues here. Holy cow, this place is spectacular. See here, now we're on the other side. Oh wow. This is a lot of work. This is such a lot of work, what they've done here. I've actually, oh wow, what is that? Holy, oh, it's a machine gun position, heavy machine gun position. That is spectacular. Even more crazy stuff going on here. A huge hook there. This never ends. And boy, oh boy, the first bunker we saw all the way down is down there at the ocean line. And now you can see what they could see. This is the absolutely highest position on the peak here. And that's what they wanted. They wanted to have this incredible stronghold on the top of the mountain. They could control the roads in the area. They could control the waterways. And believe me, they had a ton of flak anti-aircraft gun positions around here as well. But they're at another position. I don't think they ever had the opportunity to get an anti-aircraft gun like the flak 38. I don't think they would be able to get it up here, to be honest. But wow, look at this thing here. I'm gonna go down and wow, I don't know, I'm just wow. But it is amazing to see. Yeah, you see these pockets, these are for munition, for the MGs, and you can quickly move the MG on a tripod or maybe a other type of arrangement here. You can also have a mortar here with different kind of settings. So boop, 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 boop. Look at that, massive. What the heck was that for? Look here, you got a machine gun position.
Yeah, and what's that for?
I don't know, it's a massive steel rod thing. Absolutely amazing. Let me show you. This is what it will look like if you fell down from here. That's like an 80-meter drop right into nothing. So we are really in the footpath of the German activity on the Atlantic Wall. Moss everywhere. Trees are growing into the trench. And again, you must imagine the soldiers being up here. Did they feel safe? I kind of wonder, were they safe? Did they feel safe? And just imagine, it could have been young Matthias. He was just 16 years old when he got a letter. It says, you have to go to the Atlantic Wall. And you're going to serve there. And you cannot do anything about it. So he said goodbye to his mother. He said goodbye to his injured dad, who got injured and got back home. And they cried. They all cried. But then again, they all knew that this place here was so much better than to be on the Eastern Front. But nevertheless, this young man, he had to travel thousands of kilometers to get here. And when he got here, this was so strange for him, because suddenly he was sent out into the war. And he had no experience. He had 3 weeks of training, and then off he went. They put him on a vessel, and suddenly he was in the trenches here. And for me, it's like, I don't know, it's very special. I feel very privileged to be here, as I said, and I consider every soldier, no matter what, if it's British or American or German or French or Italian, it doesn't matter for me. It's about being able to connect with history. It's about being able to share this and show you the imagination you have to use yourself. But I do imagine Reinhard and Wilhelm and Frank and Franz, or whatever they were called. I do imagine these guys being around here, and that is why one also should be respectful of the fact that humans were here, not just war machines or soldiers, but humans. They were actually here during those years. Yes, they were all humans, and now we returned as humans so many years after, and we did discover and find the WW2 Stronghold Hill. What an amazing time machine, completely untouched, and just so much to learn from this position. Well, that's about it for this little adventure. Hope you enjoyed it. As I said, please consider supporting our work. We have tons of projects coming up, and it's thanks to you and only because of you and your kind support we can actually go out and do what you see. We have like a little adventure that is coming up, and that little food container turned out to be rather special. The content inside there is something that Eagle Eyes just discovered, and it's absolutely amazing. So we're going to share with you as much as we can. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, subscribing, commenting. Thank you to all our Patreon team members and PayPal supporters. You are absolutely the guys and girls who make this come true. Other than that, remember, history is and can be everywhere. So I'll see you next time. Stay safe and bye-bye.